Some major moves in state and local politics today, along with some history, from the pardon of former Congressman Duncan Hunter to the appointments of the first Latino senator from California and the San Diegan who will replace him. Fox 5 political analyst Carl Luna joins us tonight with how it all shook out. Carl, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's start with the slew of pardons from the president today. Duncan Hunter, one of the candidate Trump's earliest supporters. Was this not a surprise to you?
No, it really wasn't, Kathleen. You knew the pardon floodgates were going to open, and they've opened now. Early Christmas presents. Duncan Hunter, as you said, was one of the first in the Congress to support the president. The same with Congressman Collins, who's being pardoned for insider trading. President's sending the message he will support his supporters. This is in part for, hey, between now and Jan 20, anybody know how to keep me in? I'll have your back, whatever you try to do. But also it's helping him to build a political army. Should he have to leave office? Well, he's going to leave office January 20th. So he's got his loyalists so he can still try to control the Republican Party.
Well, I want to ask your opinion on this because we received late tonight this letter that was actually sent to President Trump from former FEC chairman under Bill Clinton. And it claims that there was a substantial amount of gray area in this case when it came to Hunter's spending. And this really should have been a civil matter and not a criminal one. What is your reaction to that?
Yeah, Bradley Smith is a respected professor. He's also kind of the Peter Navarro of campaign election law. He really doesn't believe most of the laws should be there. President Clinton picked him reluctantly in his last year in office because the Republicans said, you're replacing a Republican on the FEC, and this is the guy we will support. So he's not really, you can't really call him a Democrat who's come out in favor of this. That being said, there is always gray area in applying these things, but federal prosecutors and federal judge thought there was substantial grounds to hold Duncan Hunter accountable. The president can use this as some political cover, but most importantly, he is simply showing that he will support people who support him.
Well, even with the 60-count indictment hanging over him, you can't deny that Hunter had major support in the East County. He won re-election. Do you think he may reemerge in politics here locally?
Well, with Darrell Issa holding the seat and everything else going on, I think that Duncan Hunter would have a better chance in media or some other venture like that related to politics. Oh, and notice, as far as I've seen, his wife hasn't been pardoned yet, and she had to do her house arrest time, is still on probation. It'll be interesting to see if it plays both ways for the Hunter family, or if it is simply politics that's playing out here.
Well, let's talk about the history made today by Governor Newsom twice over with some appointments. First, the state's first Latino senator, and Alex Padilla. He was on the short list. So what are your thoughts on him as a pick?
Well, it's probably a very smart pick by the governor because he had to weed through all the different Democratic interest groups who wanted a shot at this seat. Again, Kamala Harris was the first African-American, Asian-American to hold the seat. So the African-American community was hoping maybe they would get somebody to replace her. There has not been a Latino, Hispanic Californian in that seat. By picking Padilla, who he has a long history with the governor. They've helped each other across their campaigns for the last almost 2 decades now. He's got a loyalist in and somebody who's well positioned to run in 2022. But then by bringing up Shirley Weber locally, African-American assemblywoman, to take his spot, he's able to reach out to the African-American community and help Shirley Weber maybe hold on to that seat in 2022, something she hadn't really aspired to.
Do you see any change in priorities or politics with Padilla in that spot over Kamala Harris?
I don't think it'll be a huge change within the Democratic Party. Both Harris and Padilla are more of the centrists, and that was an issue in itself. There are a number of Democrats in California, the progressive wing, who wanted somebody more to the left to be in that position. So that could be the battle for the primary in 2022, where you pick ideology against different constituent interest groups. So it's going to be a different tone with Mr. Padilla. There'll be different focus, more perhaps on immigration, focus on small business creation, and things that he and Gavin Newsom have in common, trying to help California's economy. But I think that for the most part, it's going to be 85 to 90% the same.
All right, Carl Luna tonight. Thank you for running through that list of all kinds of different chess pieces moving on the board today. We sure appreciate that.
Thank you.